I'm continuing my reading, and what I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around a bit as I move along. Right now, I am reading in Leviticus. This is chapter 17. Sacrifices to be offered only to the Lord, and at the tabernacle of the congregation. Israel forbidden to sacrifice to devils, all eating of blood forbidden, shedding of blood required for an atonement of sins. Here we go. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, and unto all the children of Israel, and say unto them, This is the thing which the Lord hath commanded, saying, What man soever there be of the house of Israel that killeth an ox, or lamb, or goat in the camp, or that killeth it out of the camp, and bringeth it not unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation to offer an offering unto the Lord before the tabernacle of the Lord, blood shall be imputed unto that man. He hath shed blood, and that man shall be cut off from among his people. To the end that the children of Israel may bring their sacrifices which they offered in the open field, even that they may bring them unto the Lord, unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, unto the priest, and offer them for peace offerings unto the Lord. And the priest shall sprinkle the blood upon the altar of the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and burn the fat for a sweet savor unto the Lord. And they shall no more offer their sacrifices unto devils, after whom they have gone a whoring. This shall be a statute forever unto them throughout their generations. So, this isn't talking about, slaughtering an animal for your evening meal. This is saying you don't do sacrifices in the camp. You don't do sacrifices outside the camp. You don't do sacrifices on your own. You only do sacrifices at the tabernacle with the priests overseeing and doing the actual sacrifice. Now, many of these sacrifices were supposed to be killed by the person who brought it in, but they kill it at the door of the tabernacle, and then the priest takes the body and performs all the proper rites. But he's saying you don't try and perform a sacrifice on your own, and you don't do it outside of the tabernacle. There's a time and a place and a proper authority, and this all must be observed. So, verse 8, And thou shalt say unto them, Whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers which sojourn among you, that offereth a burnt offering or sacrifice, and bringeth it not unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation to offer it unto the Lord, even that man shall be cut off from among his people. And remember that be cut off from the people, that's excommunication. Now, I do also want to mention this, that he keeps talking about strangers that sojourn with you. And there are two things to remember on this. And this he brings up with almost all these laws. It applies to the Israelite and to the stranger. The stranger, this doesn't mean just some random person that happened to be in your house. No, the stranger is non-Israelite. Remember, the Israelites, Jacob, let's go all the way back. Abraham, he comes out of Haran. He brings those souls which he had won in Haran. He comes down with a great multitude. Isaac increases that. Jacob increases that. They come down into Israel. When they leave Israel, it says they left with a mixed multitude, meaning there were Israelites and non-Israelites in the group. These are the strangers that they are talking about. These are the men and women who were not of the tribe of Israel, but joined together with them because they believed. And the law is saying, as long as they are part of this faith, the law applies to them. There was no law that put the Israelites above those of non-Israelite descent, as long as they were converted, as long as they were faithful, as long as they wanted to live as the Israelites, they had the same rights, the same rules, the same laws applied to everybody. And this would still apply in the future when, after they conquer Canaan, anybody that is willing to live among the Israelites and willing to abide by the law of the Israelites has the same rights as the Israelites. They are required to obey the same laws, but they have the same rights. The only difference, there is one difference, was with keeping slaves. Is that, well, there are there are a few minor differences, but those are for, generally speaking, they are not for people who are converts into the church, into the religion, but are people who are living among the Jews without being converted, without joining the religion. So there are some differences there, because it is, remember that this is not a democracy. God has never set up a democracy. God is a king, and we live in the kingdom of God. In ancient Israel, they were setting up a theocratic nation where the laws of God and the priests were the civil authority. Anyways, I don't know if I'm making too much sense here, so let's continue on. Verse 10. And whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, that eateth any manner of blood, I will even set my face against that soul that eateth blood, and will cut him off from among his people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood. And I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls, for it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, no soul of you shall eat blood, neither shall any stranger that sojourneth among you eat blood. And whatsoever man that be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, which hunteth and catcheth any beast or fowl that may be eaten, he shall even pour out the blood thereof, and cover it with dust. For it is the life of of all flesh. The blood of it is for the life thereof. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, ye shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh, for the life of all flesh is the blood thereof. Whosoever eateth it shall be cut off, and every soul that eateth which died of its and every soul that eateth that which died of itself, or that which was torn with beasts, whether it be one of your own country or a stranger, he shall both wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. Then shall he be clean. But if he wash them not, nor bathe his flesh, then he shall bear his iniquity. So there's our reason for not eating blood. Blood is the life of the flesh. Now what this means is, it's a little ambiguous, but prophets have stated that the blood is what makes us mortal. Immortal bodies are still physical, but they do not have blood. There is evidently something else flowing in the veins of resurrected beings. This is why later on Christ will say that he is of flesh and bones, not of flesh and blood, because flesh and blood means mortal. And this is also the reason why the shedding of blood is what atones for sins, because the blood is the life force. It is what makes us mortal, and therefore it is losing that blood that is an atonement for sins. This is why Christ had to bleed. He didn't just die, he shed his blood in the atonement. He had to bleed because he had to give up the life force, and the life force is the blood. How that all works, don't ask me. I don't even think modern biologists really understand. But of course, the blood is what circulates and brings nourishment to everything. You know, we bleed. If we lose our blood, we definitely die. There are other ways to kill us, but losing the blood definitely kills you. But exactly how it all works is not understood. But blood is the life force of the mortal body. It is what makes our physical bodies mortal. And that is why it is the shedding of blood that is an atonement for sins. And why God commanded us, or at least in ancient Israel, not to eat blood. Me personally, never had the desire to eat blood. But that is the reason for this command. But I will see you in the next one.